Ever notice how thinking about the good old days feels comforting for a moment, but then leaves you a little emptier afterward? That's the trap of nostalgia. It feels like appreciation, but what it's really training is collapse. Today, I want to unpack nostalgia in a way you may not have heard before, not as a harmless trip down memory lane, but as a pattern your nervous system is rehearsing. Because every time you indulge nostalgia, you're either building collapse or you're choosing to redirect into alignment. Nostalgia isn't just remembering the past, it's the subtle belief that the past was better than now. Hold that belief long enough, and it doesn't just sit there, it shifts your inner state. Usually, it creates collapse. Sometimes sadness, sometimes longing. Then the thoughts kick in. It'll never be that good again. Those were the real days. Nothing now compares. And the more you think from that state, the more your actions mirror it. You pull back, you stop investing, you disengage. That's the trap. Nostalgia sells comfort, but the price is steep. You end up training your system to expect less of now and less of yourself. Here's the practical truth. What you repeat becomes your baseline. So if you repeat collapse flavored with sweet memories, collapse is what you'll default to in the moments that matter, under pressure, in conflict, when it's time to create. So ask yourself right now, what am I reinforcing when I reminisce? If it's not strength, clarity, or love, it's probably collapse in a friendly disguise. So why do we go back to it, right? If it leaves us collapsed, why does it feel good in the moment? Because collapse is familiar. And the nervous system often confuses familiar with safe. That slideshow in your head, summer nights, first wins, early days of a relationship, it's like a soft blanket. It buffers the intensity you feel now, deadlines, uncertainty, the risk of putting yourself out there. But here's the cost. You stop training the states you actually need today. Certainty, enthusiasm, love, steady presence. Instead of expanding, you shrink backward. You trade forward motion for a comfortable loop. Here's the important distinction. Nostalgia is not gratitude. Gratitude takes the best of the past and strengthens you in the present. Nostalgia keeps the best of the past locked away from the present. One builds alignment, the other erodes it. A simple way to tell the difference? Ask yourself, am I remembering to appreciate or am I remembering to avoid? If it's avoidance, you'll feel that soft sag in your chest, that little drop in intensity. If it's appreciation, you'll feel fuller, clearer, more ready now. If this is landing, hit subscribe. I share videos each week to help you train your inner state with structure and clarity. Let's make this real and practical. You've seen these patterns. In career, someone builds a business that once felt alive and electric. Then markets shift. The playbook changes. Instead of training certainty for what's next, they replay, it was so good back then. Their shoulders roll forward. Their tone flattens. Without noticing, they rehearse collapse day after day. In relationships, a couple remembers the spark at the beginning. Every conflict gets measured against those perfect months. Energy drains from what exists now. The relationship doesn't weaken because of disagreement. It weakens because they're training longing instead of love in the present. With identity, you hear phrases like, back when I was an athlete, or back when I was successful. The hidden message is, who I was then is more valuable than who I am now. That belief alone lowers intensity. If the best is behind you, why invest in what's next? In parenting, it sounds like, remember when the kids were little. Those were the golden years. Hold that frame, and every stage afterward feels like decline. Instead of joy now, the system rehearses sadness. Even in friendships, college was the best. We had a crew. So today's friendships feel dull, not because they are, but because collapse is the state being rehearsed. It shows up in athletics and training. I used to run a 6-minute mile. That thought erases today's choices. Instead of enthusiasm for what's possible now, the system loops on loss. And in aging, I felt amazing in my 30s. Repeat it enough, and the body hears the assignment. Feel worse now. Meanwhile, vitality can still be trained if you're willing to put in the reps. See the pattern? Different stories, same collapse. And here's a subtle sign. Watch what you do when you're stressed. Do you scroll old photos? Do you replay playlists from that era? Do you drive past old places just to feel that hit of how it was? None of these are random. They're reps, and reps build whatever you're practicing. Nostalgia loves to show up at the exact moment the present asks more of you. Big project, tough conversation, new chapter that feels uncertain. Instead of meeting the moment with clarity and certainty, your mind offers a softer route, memory. It looks harmless, but it's expensive. Every time you choose memory over the moment, you trade resilience for collapse. You teach your system when intensity rises, we exit. Think about these moments. Right before a pitch, you cue up the playlist from your first big win. It feels good for a second, then drops. You didn't train confidence, you trained longing. After a fight, you scroll through early couple photos. Sweet, sure, but it drains the energy needed to repair now. Before a workout, you replay race videos. Instead of priming yourself, you collapse into, I'll never be that fast again. It happens in creativity too. You hit a block, so you flip through old projects. But instead of sparking new ideas, you collapse into, I'll never make something that good again. Even in dating, you're on an app and every swipe gets compared to the chemistry you had before. The present never stands a chance. Or in recovery, you're rebuilding after injury. Instead of training consistency, you compare every rep to the body you had before. The collapse isn't in your muscles, it's in the state you're rehearsing. Notice the through line. Nostalgia shows up at the edge of growth. And that's your cue to choose differently. Here's a phrase you can use. Is this memory building me for the moment or letting me leave it? Here's the good news. Patterns are trainable, and nostalgia can be redirected with simple, consistent reps. Here's how. First, name it. I'm telling myself the past was better. Second, notice the state. Sadness, longing, collapse. Don't indulge it, just call it what it is. That's the state being rehearsed. Third, redirect. Choose the state you actually want to practice. Gratitude, certainty, enthusiasm, love, and then train it deliberately. Breathe it in. Speak one sentence from it. Take one action from it. Another drill I like, put the state first, the story second. Most people wait for the story to change before they feel different. Flip it. Step into certainty or love first, then let the story catch up. Here's another move. Instead of clinging to the memory, ask yourself, what principle was I actually valuing back then? Adventure, discipline, connection? Then put that principle into practice today in a small, specific way. And if nostalgia tends to sneak up on you, set a plan. If I catch myself looping on the past, then I'll stand tall, take 2 breaths, and speak one present tense sentence from certainty. That's how you build a counter move. You don't need a long session. 3 clean reps in a day beat 30 minutes of trying. 1 in the morning, 1 midday, 1 at night. That's enough to start shifting your baseline. And if you want reminders, set one in your environment. Put now is greater than then on your lock screen or by your coffee maker. Let the world nudge you. How will you know it's working? Your posture will lift without forcing it. Your language will shift from I used to I'm building. And tough moments will feel clear. Not easier, but clear. Because you're meeting them with intensity instead of leaking it backward. Remember, this isn't about erasing the past. It's about stopping the habit of collapsing into it. If you're hearing this and thinking, this sounds like me, you're not broken. You've just been rehearsing a pattern that doesn't serve what you're building now, and that can change. Repetition rewires your baseline. What you practice today becomes the state you carry into tomorrow. Every moment of nostalgia is a rep. The only question is, what are you strengthening? Collapse, sadness, longing, or gratitude, certainty, love, enthusiasm. That choice is shaping your alignment. That choice is shaping who you become. And if you want a simple way to test this, try it for 7 days. Pick one state you want as your default. Maybe certainty, maybe enthusiasm, maybe love. Then set 2 cues where nostalgia usually bites. Your music app, your photo gallery. Rename them with your chosen state. Each state, run 3 quick reps of the redirect drill, morning, midday, night. Then, at the end of the day, write 1 sentence in the present tense from that state. Today, I built certainty by blank. Today, I built love by blank. Today, I built enthusiasm by blank. At the end of the week, ask yourself, what state did I practice most? And what shifted in my actions because of it? You'll notice the micro shifts first: quicker recovery after setbacks, cleaner language, fewer rabbit holes into old memories. Give it a second week and those micro shifts compound. That's how alignment is built, quietly, consistently, by reps. Now, you might be thinking, but nostalgia motivates me, and I get that. It gives you a hit in the moment. But here's the thing, motivation built on longing fades fast. What sustains is enthusiasm trained in the present. So your drive comes from who you're becoming, not who you were. Or maybe you're thinking, it's just part of who I am. And sure, your memories are part of your story. But the state you practice with those memories, that's a choice. The memory isn't the problem. It's whether you pair it with collapse or with gratitude. And sometimes the thought is, but the past really was better. That might be true. But the real question is, does rehearsing that belief make you stronger now or weaker? Alignment isn't built by what was once true. It's built by the state you're training today. Final reflection for you right now. What emotional state are you reinforcing over and over without even realizing it? And is that state aligned with the person you're committed to becoming? That's the work. If you're ready to stop managing symptoms and start training a steady, resilient inner state, I've built a system for that. It integrates emotion and nervous system, so you don't just understand your patterns, you actually shift them. The link's below. I also share practices weekly on Instagram at Mike Wang Coaching, and if you want more depth, you can join the newsletter below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.